Hello and welcome back to the Sideboard. I'm Corbin Hostler here at the Regional Championship in Hartford at SCG Con, and I'm joined by Chris Botelho, who is 5-0-1 now, I believe, with a deck maybe not many people expected to get you there.
Well, then maybe they don't know me very well.
That's exactly right. What are you playing this weekend, Chris?
I am playing Blue-White Control, a tried and true staple, at least for me, that I think matches up very well into an aggressive meta, which is kind of what we have right now.
It seems that way, right? I see Authority of the Consoles you named as one of the important cards, and that one definitely feels like it probably put some work in against the aggressive decks.
Yes. Decks that rely on their creatures being meaningful with haste do not like when their creatures have haste but can't attack anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Is It in the Room, obviously, of course, some other versions of aggro floating around. What led you, we know you're a big Control fan, but what led you to leading to Blue-White this weekend as opposed to, say, the Jeskai list we saw 2 weeks ago or some of the other Control decks moving around?
So I messed around with the Jeskai list a little bit, and aside from the mana being a little tougher and giving you access to fewer utility lands like Demolition Field, which is a big deal against Mono Black, and Fountain Port, which is a very big deal against Jeskai.
Right.
You also kind of limit your sideboard options by playing Shiko. It means that you can't play High Noon, you can't play Rest in Peace.
Yeah.
Which are high impact cards against specific decks, but also tend to have more overlap in utility than a lot of the other sideboard hate pieces that Jeskai plays. High Noon is amazing against Is It Prowess because so much of their stuff relies on casting multiple spells a turn. But it also is very useful against Azorius Omniscience because they don't like Omniscience when they can only cast one spell a turn.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the interesting, we've seen sort of out of the red decks, the rise of Magebane Lizard, the sort of the same idea of attacking people, playing multiple spells and trying to do things fast. I mean, what would you say the biggest strength for Control fans at home who are looking for Blue-White in this metagame when everyone's making a bunch of tokens and swinging out? What is sort of the biggest draws to this?
I think that Blue-White as a deck that gets to naturally play a bunch of sweepers and card advantage is pretty well positioned anytime there's a go-wide format. And because so many of these decks are reliant on having these really fast, aggressive, wide starts to kind of make up for card disadvantage of sorts, it makes it so that main decking cards like Authority of the Consoles is a lot less painful than it used to be, because the downside, of course, is that you're going down a card to just gain life, and Healing Salve was never the most playable card. But if you can leverage sweepers to sort of stay even because they have to commit to the board or they're not doing very much, unlike, say, a traditional mono red that can go all in on one creature and only one threat at a time a lot harder, then you're pretty happy. Yeah,
that makes sense. A lot of go wide decks. Obviously, we've seen Lockdown be huge over the last month or so in Standard. All right, well, 5-0-1, you said. What are you hoping to dodge the rest of the day here?
I would love to dodge Domain.
Okay. You talked about it. You thought maybe it was a good choice for the weekend. What's your take there?
My take is that you can put 3 Authority of the Consoles in a deck that plays a lot of sweepers. And I think that fixes most of Domain's awkward matchups.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll have to see how that does. And of course, we'll watch you more throughout the weekend. Haven't taken a loss so far on Blue-White. So, Chris, thank you for chatting with us and good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.